Hey everybody, it's Sammer time, coming to you from this empty room in front of this empty wall in the house I am vacating in order to go on my next thru hike. The next thru hike is of the mountains of Sea Trail across North Carolina. This is all the gear I'm going to be taking on this thru hike. It's 1,175 miles. I did it in 2012, so I'm really excited to see how the trail has changed in the past 8.5 years. It's 200 miles longer now, so that's different. So just starting to skin out. This is all the clothes that will be on my body, so this doesn't count against my base weight. Classic summertime, bright orange, head sweats, reflective running hat, a buff for sweaty days, cold nights, and going in stores regarding coronavirus masking. I got a pair of Injinji toe socks here to help stop blisters between my toes. Those are just liners. And then my outer socks are darn tough, medium cushion, quarter height hiking socks. Those are wool. T-shirt is a Rohan ultralight t-shirt. This has been in my drawer for a while. I used it back in 2017 on the Florida Trail. At the time, I'd never seen a shirt lighter. I don't know about these days, but this shirt weighs like nothing. This is a Patagonia Capilene 1 quarter zip long sleeve shirt. This made it through the 2017 Florida Trail, a 2018 and 19 Eastern Continental Trail trip of 4,800 miles, and it's a daily wear item for me around town, and it is still going strong. Couple little tiny pinholes and pilling, but other than that, what a great piece of work by an awesome company. They're not currently making Capilene 1 garments right now. I don't know why, but I'm hanging that into that one as long as I can. As a knee brace, I won't be wearing it all the time, so it will live in my bag for most of the time, I'd say, but in the mountains section, I'm definitely wearing this for support of my knee. I got an old bum knee. And the shorts I'm wearing are from Innovate. They're a trail running and running company out of the UK. The material on these is really water repellent, more so than other shorts I've worn that claim to be. It does have a mesh brief inside, which I do like, elastic drawstrings, and 5-inch inseam, very lightweight. Trusty cheapo, happens to be a Casio watch. For this hike, I'm switching from Ultras to Hoka Ona Ona shoes. I just think I'm getting too old for the whole zero drop, low cushion thing. You know, maybe it was just an ideal I was striving for back in the day, strengthening my foot through less support, but my body just doesn't like it anymore. I think all that has led to some off-trail foot issues I've had, so just in between trails this last couple of years, I've switched to a more cushion shoe in general, and the Hokas are awesome. I had heard about the Speed Goats. This is the Speed Goat 4 from other hikers and on the internet and stuff. The cushion is extreme. It's not as extreme as this profile right here, but it's definitely squishy and still a lot of support and strong shoe. You can tell they're dirty. I haven't beaten them up, and pretty good durability so far. Pretty aggressive lugs. So I'll be using these in the mountain sections for about the first 400, 500 miles of the trail. And then when I get to Greensboro, my hometown, which is about halfway, I will switch over to these Cliftons. So the mountain goats are probably worn out by that point. Switching to Cliftons, which are a trail running shoe. They're not as aggressively lugged, but you know, I wouldn't do rock scrambles on them, but they can handle some dirt just fine. And this Clifton is the highest cushion that Hoka Ona Ona makes. So this is even more cushion than the Speed Goats. Again, not quite that severe, but it's pretty pillowy. So once I get past Greensboro, it's gonna be mostly road walks and just pretty easy nature trail type stuff. and urban environments. So switching for these just to help my feet heal as I hit the flats. Bringing hiking poles. These are used to set up my shelter with, and I've used these before. They're Locust Gear CP3s. These are carbon fiber. They're adjustable, which I like for my shelter because it lets me put it in a bunch of different setups. These weigh 5 ounces each, a little more because of this Gorilla Tape I've put on there, and I can use this to pull off when I need to and do repairs or whatever you can use Gorilla Tape for. This stick, you can see, still has its carbide pointy tip. This one has lost it, I don't even know where, but fell off somewhere, and so I've got a hiking pole tip on there to kind of even out the height and maybe give it a couple. It's also missing an adjustment wheel. But hopefully this will make it through 1,100 miles. A little too late to order spare parts now, so we'll see what happens. Also on my body, I do have a pair of camp shoes. These are just super lightweight Walmart sandals. I don't like the thong sandals because I like to wear socks when I'm in camp shoes, so I have to have this crossover kind of slip on. I haven't really made up my mind about these. I might forego camp shoes, but they're nice to have in town if you have to go public places. What do you guys think? Do you think I should take camp shoes or just take bread bags and wear my wet shoes over dry socks and bread bag feet? Leave me a comment, won't you? All right, getting into the nitty gritty. This is it. This is my thick boy. He's chilling. He's a little chubby, but well packed, we'll call it that. The base weight as it stands right now, and I may make some final adjustments before I hit the trail, is at like 9.5 pounds right now. And base weight is everything in my bag, not including food or water. So I do have 2 days of food in here, it's a little heavier because of that. Start on the outside, basic water bottles, just cheap, lightweight plastic water bottles. I actually prefer Life Water because they got prettier labels, but any will do. On this trip, there are some stretches where there's not a lot of water, so I am bringing full, large water bottles, and liters, 33 point whatever ounces. And another classic here, everybody's seen the Sawyer Squeeze. It's everywhere. Sawyer does make 2 models that are smaller and lighter than this, which weighs between 3 and 4 ounces. This one does. But those 2 have a flow rate which is slower than this. So everyone kind of agrees the best bang for your buck weight-wise and speed-wise is the Squeeze, because you don't have to wait as long filtering your water. Though you do sacrifice an ounce or so if you're going with this little heavier model, but 3 or whatever ounces, not too bad. I'll go to the back pocket here. This is a cool new toy I got. So my shelter is a tarp poncho combination now, which means there's no walls to it, so I'll be exposed to bugs down on the coast and in the mountains, wherever, while I'm in my sleeping bag. So this is from Montbell. It's a bug net you put over your sleeping bag, and it flips out like a car windshield sun blocker. You can kind of get the idea here. The wire kind of gives it form so it doesn't rest on your face, and it's got kind of a little bit of a hang down cover there, so obviously I'd be on my back, but you kind of get it over you, and then when you're laying down, there's nothing on your face, bugs can't get you. You can tuck this into your sleeping bag down here. So I think it's a good solution for mosquitoes when you're cowboy camping or camping under the stars or with a shelter that doesn't have walls and is not fully enclosed. It weighs between 3 and 4 ounces, and I will say that it does stop airflow a bit. It restricts airflow. It's a little warmer inside this thing than outside, and also the shape of it. I'm a stomach sleeper at times, so I like to do this when I sleep, and also a side sleeper like this or this, and you cannot do that in this device. But I don't plan on using it every night, just when it's like really, really bad. And that's the other thing. It's kind of like one of those car windshield bobbers too. It's hard to remember how to get it put up. There we go. So you just fold it back in its little circle here. Windbreaker. This is a lighter weight option to layer with. This is a Montbell Tachyon. All windbreakers are very thin, plasticky material. They don't insulate, but they do block, they retain heat and block wind from taking away heat. The new Tachyon, this is the 2020 version, it has pockets, and this one happens to have a hood. They used to not have pockets, they used to weigh less. I think this is like 2.5 ounces, and it balls up to the size of a baseball. So as much as work as it can do to help you stay warmer for 2.5 ounces or whatever, it's a fine trade-off. These are my rain gloves. This is a Andrew Skirka-ism. These are just rubber dish gloves. There's no such thing as a breathable, waterproof fabric. Something's gonna give somewhere. So some folks in the hiking community are switching over to completely waterproof, non-breathable rubber for certain applications. And they're good in the rain. Keep your hand dry enough to mess with your moisture sensitive stuff and your phone if you had to. I keep my tent stakes on the outside pocket, even though they're in this handy little bag. I still don't want them like ripping or puncturing anything in the main compartment. My poncho tarp setup only needs 6 stakes, so I'm saving some weight there as well. 4 of the classic titanium shepherd hooks, well used, and 2 of these, I believe they're technically for sand and loose soil stakes that I got from Z-Packs years ago, also well used. Now, I did add some shoulder strap pockets for this trip just to hold a few things. Let's see what's in here. Oh, a Garmin InReach mini GPS locator. It's the first time I've ever used one of these, and everyone who donates to the fundraiser for my friend Dustin will get the website link to go and see in real time where I am on my hike with frequent updates. So that's kind of fun. I'll have to remember to keep that charged. Finally hopped on the bandwagon and I'm trying one of these Nightcore headlamps. They're getting pretty popular out there with folks. Lighter weight than the Black Diamond I was using before, the Black Diamond Ion, I think. This is like less than 3 ounces and as bright or brighter than the old light I was using. Also, it's rechargeable via USB, so I don't have to bring extra batteries for it. So looking forward to that upgrade. This is a vape pen. This is a Grind Life brand vape pen. Check out Grind Life. Also carrying a Carolina Carts cartridge of CBD. I used to think the CBD craze was hippie Wookiee science, but a guy I met in Pennsylvania on the Appalachian Trail had CBD salve, CBD flower, and CBD cartridges as well. And I can absolutely attest CBD helps with athletic recovery and also mental health. So when I was having really achy joints and stuff and muscles and tendonitis, the CBD salve was key, and then flowers and cartridges absolutely will help you go those extra 10 miles at the end of a 30-mile day if you need it. So mental health and healing for sure. This is one of the smaller batteries you can find on the market. There are smaller ones, but this one holds a charge the best for the weight. Just some headphones if I'm listening to music or podcasts on a road walk or something. These came with my phone. They weigh 15 or 14 grams, something like that. Actually lighter weight than the generic ones I found at the gas station. So got better quality sound and a lighter weight. This is cool. It's a pocket tripod. I got clickbaited on Instagram or Facebook or something for this little guy. It's about the size of a credit card, and it's for your phone for when you're filming movies. So I don't have to bring any kind of like tripod thing. This thing works for it. So you just flip it click it, and then you fold up these two sides right here. It's pretty genius. And your phone goes right in here in these little slots, this way or that way, and these rotate however, so hopefully that'll make it easier for me filming some videos for you guys while I'm out there. Weighs just grams. And on the other side, I got a classic summertime first aid kit. It's pretty much everything I take on every hike in this little baggie. You got a half of a nail file for toenail upkeep. You got a Thermarest repair patch. You got a Neosporin packet in there. You got a Compeed blister bandage, 6 Band-Aid blister bandages, a roll of Leukotape, and the tiniest little bottle of crazy glue I've ever seen. I just added that for this hike. And then a small pocket knife, a little tiny pocket knife just for cutting bandages or whatnot. And a safety pin for popping blisters. So the bandages are all 2 grams or less. And yeah, I used to keep the Leukotape wrapped around my hiking pole so I could count it as worn weight. But I found when I got rained on, it's really hard to unstick from itself, so it lives in here now. Gotta have your hand sandy. I absolutely swear by this heavyweight luxury item. Any kind of anti-friction chafe stick. This has kept me from quitting through hikes before, absolutely. And it weighs a few ounces, but it's definitely worth it. They make a foot and a body. They're basically the same product, so whichever you find on sale. And speaking of anti-chafe ointments, this is a product from my friend over at Southern Terps. This is a CBD full spectrum salve. So this is what I was talking about. It's an ointment that you can rub on your skin or your muscles or wherever that's sore and needs to be healed. That's a lavender flavor. It smells great. 500 milligram CBD salve. He's a local black-owned business and a friend of mine, Southern Terps. Check them out. He donated some gear for my hike, so I can't wait to use this for sore ankles and also chafing and stuff. All right, inside the bag, here we go. This is the same backpack I took on the ECT 2 years ago. It made it. And I'll go into a little detail about him in a minute. So this is the shelter I'm going to be using. I was talking about it earlier. It's a tarp, but you can also wear it as a poncho. It's from Mountain Laurel Designs, and they have a couple of tarp ponchos on their website. This is the Dyneema Pro version. It's a different cut and a different type of fabric, but you can customize your own. This isn't new to me, but it's new for this hike. First time I've used it on a thru hike. I have a piece of polycro here. It's just a window film you can put on your windows in I think mainly the winter in order to insulate them. You can buy it really cheap from a home goods store rather than more expensive on a camping site. This is just cut to size for underneath my sleeping pad. I'm not going to roll this all the way out, but this is Dyneema composite fabric. Hikers know what that is. It's waterproof and highly tear resistant, very strong for its weight. Fabric is very lightweight though. I believe this is less than half a pound, and that is my shelter or tent and also my rain poncho. So I don't have to bring rain gear, and having a less than half pound shelter is pretty sweet. Like I said, it uses 2 poles, my hiking poles, and you just kind of build your tarp out of it. And then right in the middle, it's got a hood slit for me to slip my head through when I'm wearing it as a poncho, and that just folds up when it's in tarp mode. I'm sure you can find pictures online of this, and I'm sure you'll see me in it as the hike progresses. A lot of you will recognize this either from your own bags or from my past hikes. I bought this Thermarest Neo Air in 2015 and it has seen over 5,000 miles and has never had a puncture or a leak. It's a full-size Neo Air. I'm not going to unroll it or inflate it for you. I'm sure you can find them out there. You'll see it upcoming. It weighs 14 ounces, I want to say. This is a 70-inch tall, 20-inch wide regular mat. You can find them shorter for less weight, but I like to have the pad under my feet. I will say these are loud. I did feel bad in shelters rolling around, keep disturbing people. But it's got a decent R value as far as keeping you warm on the ground, and it's more comfortable than any of the closed foams for me. So I sacrifice a little bit with the weight of this guy for a little luxury. I am bringing a stove on this trip, mainly because I have a bunch of dehydrated meals that are about to go bad, and some have already expired, so we'll see how they taste when I'm out there. But I haven't done cooking on a thru hike in the last couple of years, or any camping trip. So going back to this is a little nostalgic, and this is the same setup I used the last time I was cooking on thru hikes. So it's not really about a weight penalty for me, the cooking, because this is my stove. It's an Isbit solid fuel stove. It just folds out, and then you can place it's a little white block of fuel. It's a hard little kind of a rock. You put it in this little middle part, light it with a lighter, and then let it burn. And I use this pot, which is a 500 milliliter, so not even or right at 16 ounces. Get that pot going over the fire, and then this is a little small piece of titanium that nests inside. Pops out to a circle, you screw this around, and now you've got a windscreen that's got enough holes in it to feed the fire, but keep your flame going strong. This can boil 16 ounces of water in less than 3 minutes. I don't cook in this pot, I just pour the hot water from this into the bag of the dehydrated meal and eat out of the bag from the dehydrated meal. Like I said, it's not a weight savings thing for me because this whole setup is like less than 5 ounces, but it's time. I really usually can't be bothered to stop early in order to cook, wake up early in order to cook, or wake up at a normal time, cook, and get on trail late. And I really hate doing dishes. So you won't normally catch me cooking, but like I said, I've got a bunch of mountain house I gotta get through, so hopefully I'll eat a bunch on this trip. The trail is a little kind of urban, the Mountains of Sea Trail. Once it gets past Greensboro and Raleigh, it does go through a lot of towns directly, and even in the mountain areas too. So there is a lot of food available on this trail in the Mountains of Sea. There's only a couple sections you would really need to carry more than a day or two's worth, which is pretty great as far as traveling lightweight and giving money back to these trail communities. So I'll be sending out bags of food daily 21 times out of 44 days. So the other half I'll be eating in real time, in the moment, in these towns, and I'm looking forward to all the good little greasy spoon restaurants I'm gonna find. This is my big miscellaneous bag. It's got a bag for my phone to keep it dry in the rain, but I'm recording with it right now. This is a tiny little mosquito head net that weighs about 12 grams, I think. Took this on the ECT as well, it made it through. I wear it with a hat, obviously, so it's pushed out away from my face, but I'll definitely need that on the coast if I remember correctly. This is the other part of my kitchen kit. A titanium spoon, long enough that I can reach down into the dehydrated meal pouch. Earplugs, because you never know how close to a road you might be stealth camping. I've got a sample size thing of suntan lotion, sunblock for the road walks. I've got a resistance band that I use to stretch out my calves and feet at the end of each day. I will absolutely say this is how I completed the Eastern Continental Trail without my legs completely giving out. Never leave home without it again. It is a couple ounces, but it's worth it. And this is my little electronic setup in here. A lot of people, when they ask me about hiking, ask me how I keep my stuff charged. And anytime you pass an outlet outside a gas station or in a restaurant or a McDonald's or a public library or a Trail Angel's house, you immediately get out your wall block and stick it in the outlet and start charging your backup battery. I like to take a wall block that has two different outputs, as it were, so you can charge your battery while you're also charging your phone. And since I will be charging my phone while I'm attached to the wall, I've got a smaller, shorter cord for the battery because I'm not going to need to mess with that. But I do have a longer 3-foot cord for my phone so that I can still use it and not be anchored to the outlet. This particular wall block has a C and a USB. The C to C is a little way faster way to charge, so that's for direct charging my phone. And then this battery, which is a new purchase for this trail, this is a Anchor PD 10,000 mAh battery. The batteries that was really popular on thru hiking for the past few years is a 10,500 mAh from the same company, but I still have that. It still holds a charge, works great. But this one is new and improved because it has a USB-C PD port right here, as well as a regular USB port right there. So means not only can I fast charge my phone from the wall block with a C cable, I can also fast charge my phone from the battery with a C to C. In the past, I would have to use a USB-A to C adapter, which is a little slower. This battery can also use both ports to charge two devices at the same time, so that's an upgrade as well. It actually is a couple grams heavier than the one I was using for the past couple years, but the improvements, I think, are worth the wait. This is a Z-Packs Bear Bag Kit for hanging your food in trees when you're in areas of wildlife that might come after your food. The bag is, again, Cuban fiber, very strong and lightweight and waterproof. Now this bag is several years old, so it's not really waterproof anymore. But as well, not only in this bag, but you also get a little pouch that you can fill with a rock or some dirt in order to throw over a tree limb. And then you get this cordage, which is super strong and lightweight. You hook your carabiner on, you do the PCT method, and thread it back through, and then haul your bag up the tree with this. This whole setup, these 3 items, is less than 4 ounces, I think 3.5 ounces. So though I will not always be hanging my food in a tree, I will sometimes. In the East Coast, there are black bears in North Carolina, and there's also bears in the Smoky Mountains where I'll be starting. But even when I'm not hanging from the tree, this is so light I don't mind carrying it when I'm not using it, and this bag is nice to have to organize and separate my food. There's 2 days of food in here just to fill out the bag. That's one day. It's 1.9 pounds, and it's about 3,000 calories, a little over. There's only one thing that's cookable in there. And I have a different video about my 2021 Mountains of Sea Trail food plan, so you can check that out if you're interested. This is a cool one. Added this for this hike because my buddy Flat Top turned me on to it. This is just a car wash sponge you can get at the Dollar Tree, but he turned me on to using it as a pillow. So it's just dense enough that your head doesn't push through to the ground. It's just enough cushion. I don't like a big pillow anyway, so I don't mind being a little more close to parallel to the ground with my head. Weighs not even an ounce, super cheap, so awesome. Thanks Flat Top. I think he heard about that on Reddit or the internet somewhere, but it really worked out. Thanks, buddy. These are clothes that I'm not wearing. They're in my bag. They're either warmth layers or sleeping clothes. So this is another piece of Patagonia gear. These are Capilene 1. Again, their lightest synthetic layer that they are no longer making. But these are just super lightweight long johns to protect my legs from stinging nettle and stuff like that on the trail, and also if I'm cold when I'm sleeping. I do swear by a whole sleep outfit. These are sleeping boxers, because there's nothing worse than sleeping in sweaty ass shorts from the day of hiking. So these are merino wool, moisture wicking, antibacterial. Awesome. It's like taking a shower when you put them on. And that goes as well for this shirt, which is another piece of merino clothing. This is a really lightweight, 150 weight merino wool shirt from Icebreaker. Pretty light for wool. And these are town shorts. These are from Luke's Ultralight, which isn't around anymore, but it's just a really lightweight fabric on plasticky garbage bag material with a drawstring. And they're called laundry shorts or town shorts. So you can wear these when you go into town while you got all your clothes in the wash, and they weigh less than an ounce. Oh, and then same thing for the sleep socks. A lot of people scoff at sleep socks or any of this sleeping clothes, but this is also gear that has helped me not quit a thru hike before, because I mean there's just such a morale booster when you put on. These are synthetic. These are Thorlo medium cushion quarter hike socks, but really fluffy inside. And when you put on this moisture wicking stuff that's clean and dry at the end of the day, it feels cool to your body because it's drawing away all that moisture. So it's key. Let's see, anything else? Oh, forgot these in my front pockets. This is a little duty kit. This is 2 days worth of toilet paper, 18 squares per day. Each stack of 18 is 6.5 grams or something like that. I've got 2 moist wipes in here, 1 per day. These are 6 grams each. A little thing of Dr. Bronner's soap here. I'm trying to transition into another Skirka-ism of the backcountry bidet, where instead of using paper, you're getting rid of the bulk of the mess with natural stuff like leaves and rocks, and then using soap and water just to wash your rear end instead of using paper. And in my experience so far, I'm still mastering my technique, but I feel way cleaner and fresher using the backcountry bidet than you do with rocks, sticks, leaves, and paper. And then a little bug spray for a couple sections. This is a 1/2 ounce picaridin. We don't use DEET anymore because it damages waterproof treatment on your gear. Really bad for your tent, rain fly, or your rain jacket. It'll just melt right through the stuff. That's DEET. So we don't like that. We like this, picaridin. This is by Sawyer. And this is my puffy. It's a Montbell, another item from Montbell. This is the Plasma 1000. 1000 refers to the fill power of the down used in this jacket. It's just a little finer feather and a little more work for the weight. No hood on this one, but I do have a toboggan, so I'm not worried about it. The toboggan is the classic Z-Packs. Got this in 2012. Been on every thru hike with me. It weighs less than an ounce. And this, Then these are ultra lightweight gloves from Smart Wool. They're merino 150. I got bad circulation in my hands, so sleeping and then cold mornings, we'll put these on. And this finally is my quilt. This is a down quilt from Enlightened Equipment. This is an Enigma, but you can customize your bag on their site, and I believe I did. I chose the color, and then I think I upgraded the down to a 850 fill down, which is pretty light. This is a 40-degree bag. Right now the forecast has my first week in the mountains with lows at 39, so with my shelter not having walls, I might be pushing it with the wind coming under the quilt here, but I fully reserved the right to call friends and family to bring me different gear if it doesn't work out. So, oh yeah, and then because this bag is older, like I said, it's been over 5,000 miles with me. This is a composite DCF, so you've got the DCF on the inside and then a more durable material on the outside. Very, very water resistant is all they can say about this. The seams weren't sealed. The material itself is waterproof, but there's just always some failure after so many miles. So within the first month of this bag on the ECT, I was getting water penetrating into the main compartment. Not much, but enough to get my quilt wet. So even during my thru hike before it really got beat up, I added a pack liner. This is also from Z-Packs. This is just a waterproof bag essentially. It's kind of like the bear bag or the poncho, same material, but it doesn't get beat up as much as the bag, and it just, within the bag, it's just not gonna take on water the way the bag by itself would. So I did add that, and I'll show you a little handiwork I'm proud of. So there are countless times on the ECT and other hikes when I just fall with my feet out from under me and slam ass first and bag first, because they're both about the same height. Bam, just all that force. So as many times as I did that, this bag really did stand up to it pretty well. Now there's a couple of little pinhole back here. You can see right here where my finger is. Just some scrapes and abrasions after that many miles. And I did have one blowout right here where the hip or the shoulder strap material gets sewn into the pack. But that's not a bad sew job, right? That's a repair in the middle of the woods, and it's kept going for like 3,000 or 4,000 miles now. So I'm probably gonna use this one until it just tatters and falls to shreds. I do really love this pack. It's comfortable, and I'm glad I didn't have to buy a new one for this trip. So that's it. I don't think I showed you my toothbrush because I'm using it like at home in the bathroom. I usually take a little bit of Gold Bond. I don't have a bottle of that now, but a little travel size will usually end up in my pack. And I think that's all for now. Haven't left yet. I might make some final changes to this setup, but this is pretty comfortable, and I'm happy with the base weight where it is. Gives me a little bit of wiggle room if I need to add some stuff. So thanks a lot for watching.